Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. As you can see, I have built my second Ministry of Magic set. I told you guys in my review that I would be buying two of these, so I went ahead and got my second one. And now I'm ready to explore some expansion opportunities. I really like this set a lot more than I thought I would, which I feel like I'm saying about a lot of the 2022 Harry Potter sets, especially the two biggest ones. But I'm super happy that it's modular. While I'm not happy with how small like the offices are, I did complain about that in my review. I'm more into it for display anyway, and so I'm really happy that it's so easy to expand something like this. So right off the bat, you could display your two sets just like this. I just posed these like this for the thumbnail, but this works pretty well. You can see I did do something different with the second set. I did not apply stickers just because I don't really think I'm going to keep that second archway built. I have an idea of how I want to assemble my ministry. If I don't like it and I want to keep like the dual archway look, I might end up applying the stickers there. But for now, I thought it was better just to not. And I haven't applied stickers on the interiors. I haven't changed out any of these interiors. That's something that I mentioned wanting to do. I don't know if or when I'll get the time, and since I only really care about it from the outside, I'm just not going to bother with that right now. But there are multiple, like entryways into the ministry's atrium. So even though I wasn't going to build that second archway, I did go ahead and do it because, and I mean, I am glad I did because I do think that it looks pretty good. I like having, like these large cavernous entryways. But that's also a very dangerous thing because the more I like this, the more I want to buy a third set so I can have two columns on either side. Because this is why I bought two sets. It's for that dual column look. One set... Whoops. Yeah, these things do not move very well. One set is great, but these singular columns, they're just too tall and skinny. And I mean, like, that's really what I don't like about it. And now I need to go fix that. So instead of fixing it, I actually just broke all of these apart into their separate modules. So we have 12 like main modules, then we have 4 roof sections and 2 archways. So I'm going to start experimenting with builds a little bit, just like how I do in my modular Hogwarts connection videos. And let's see what kind of combinations I can come up with. But I think right off the bat, I'm going to try with the one that I've been picturing in my head since I first saw this set. All right, so from day one, this is exactly what I was picturing. I wanted 2 rows of offices. I wanted 2 flue powder fireplaces in the corner, and I really like this. I think that this looks way better than the set that LEGO made, but I understand why they did it this way. I like that it's modular. I like that I can build it out myself, but I also understand that LEGO wanted to keep it at a relatively, at a high price, but at a price that's still affordable for a lot of people. They didn't want to make a $300 Ministry of Magic set. And so I think that this is a good look. But as I said at the start of the video, I am missing like the angling and the gaps that you get from putting in the second archway. So in my next configuration, I think I'm going to try to bring that archway in. But honestly, this is probably how I'm going to be displaying my set, just because I don't have the space for it to spread out everywhere. I might not even have the space just for this much, but I'll try to find it. And to me, like, I really like this symmetry here. I've like assembled the modules in exactly the same way, like I've got the courtrooms, I've got Umbridge's offices, Mr. Weasley's office. So you can definitely change it up a little bit. Like you can move the papered over windows around. I just think that the papered over windows look best right above the newspapers, like where the newspapers are located. But especially just like that back corner with the 2 fireplaces there, that's the look I wanted. I really like having 2 of those fireplaces, so I'm really glad I got 2 of these sets. There's definitely some work to be done on the interiors. This is why it might be bad to just put everything right next to each other, or, like exactly in the same way that it was in the instructions. Like I've got 1 ministry set here and 1 set there. But I do think I want to change that up because I don't like the interior layout here. This is the second ministry set, as you can tell by the lack of stickers. But obviously all of this would look a lot better if like the Umbridge's offices were next to each other and the Halls of Prophecy were next to each other. So actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and make that change right now before I change up the exterior configuration. Okay, so with those interior adjustments made, I like the exterior a little bit less for one reason and one reason only. It's the papered over windows. I don't like that this side is now so asymmetrical. I don't like that the paper is there instead of over the other newspaper section. And that's a relatively easy fix, you know, like you can just pop out those windows and move them over there. I don't want to get like that into it right now. But I do think the interior works so much better. So let me gently spin this around because this still is not the most stable thing to move. Yeah, I really hate moving this thing around. Like, the designers did not do a good job there, like making this movable when it's all together. It's just very weak even. I mean, it's modular, I like that, but it's extremely weak. So okay, so we have the two courtrooms. I like that those are together because there were multiple courtrooms in the books and the movies. We have two Umbridge's offices. Obviously, there were not two offices for Umbridge in the Ministry, at least to the best of our knowledge. But I mean, like, I could do something over here to make it part of her office, but not, like, have the exact same furnishings. And then over on this side, it's kind of the same thing. The two racks of prophecies look good together because there were a ton of prophecies on the walls, you know, in Order of the Phoenix, but Mr. Weasley's offices together, those do not look good. So, I mean, that's not that hard to fix. So all you need to do is like pull a couple of these things out and then it can become a generic office. But overall, the interior works a lot better than it did in the last configuration. This is a configuration that I don't like very much. I think that this worked better in theory than it does in practice, because it becomes very flat in a way that I really don't like, because I want like the Floo powder fireplaces to be, you know, like those are the entrance to the Ministry. So they should be positioned a little bit further back. But with this configuration, I don't like that, like that end is kind of flat, then the sides are angled, but then like these sides are like flat once they're coming at you. I just don't think angling it in this way works. I haven't even tried out the interior on this one. I think now let's just stick to exterior configurations, and because I mean, like, the interior doesn't really matter. I'm just in it for what it's going to look like on display from the outside. And that's also why I'm not going to be knocking this down to like 2 levels of offices and trying configurations like that. I mean, we could be here all day trying a bunch of different display arrangements, but I'm going to go for what I like. And so even though on the box and stuff, they show that you can put 2 offices down and expand it out that way, I'm not interested in that just because I want the height, and 2 offices don't give me enough height. Okay, so this is a bit of an interesting design. I've put 2 of the archways next to each other, and this really starts to make it enclosed just like the movie. And I'm also surprised because I kind of like this as well. Of course, you're seeing the interiors on this side. You can't really avoid that. But the biggest issue with this is that there's not enough archways now. This thing is just standing completely alone because there's nothing to connect it to the rest. And I mean, like, you could see that as like that doesn't have to be a negative thing, because you can just, you know, look at this from this direction. You know how Lego sets are often like open from the back, so you have to pretend like there's a 4th wall there. You could just move all of these, or actually you could add like one of these modules to each of those towers and make them even taller, and then just have, you know, like a triple tower Ministry and pretend like there's more here that like you're not seeing. And I like that better than the configuration that I did last time with like the 2 towers in the center. I think that this actually works a lot better than I thought it would. So let me try stacking them higher. Honestly, I think that this is my favorite combination so far, and I'm surprised by that. But I really like this. It looked better if I had put those stickers on, but I think now I will, because I think it was a good idea to build that archway for this video for sure. Because it does give you a lot of options, and I actually like it a lot more than I expected to. But I've built a tower of paper in the center. So you've got the 2 newspaper like floor slots, and then the 2 halls of prophecy up there. And then we go Floo powder, courtroom, Umbridge's office, Mr. Weasley's office on both sides. And I think that this looks really good. I think that this is balanced. I think that it is a good height. I thought that 4 modules might look too tall, but the more I look at 4, the more I dislike 3. I mean, I'm kidding. I still think that 3 modules is pretty much perfect, because 4 is verging on too tall. Like, I've backed so far away from my desk, you can see the edge of the desk in the corner there. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how this has turned out. So I don't know if I'll keep mine displayed like this, but as you can see, there's a ton of different options for your Ministry of Magic. You can buy 2 sets, you can buy 3. You know what? If I find this on sale, I might go ahead and buy 3 and see what else I can do. Because I just like this system that much. I like this modular Ministry of Magic system almost as much as I like the Hogwarts system. Actually, I don't like the Hogwarts system from 2021 that much. I just like being able to connect them together. But yeah, this I think has been a total slam dunk. I really thought that I wouldn't like this system too much. And so it's been a really pleasant surprise just how much I've enjoyed it. So I think that you guys should definitely try this out if you have the money and you're interested in it. But other than that, comment below and tell me which configuration of mine was your favorite. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com. I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.